So how did studying art actually differ from studying politics? Because there's a lot of politics in art.
Yeah.
And it's a political space almost, depending on who you talk to and what you're looking at.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely true. I think every industry is that way. Like that's the way people are. And I think that's what I found so interesting about studying politics is that understanding of like, well, what are people about? How do people organize themselves in a society? What's important to us? And I didn't feel like what we were doing in DC and what we were advocating for, it just didn't feel important. It didn't feel actually connected to people. I think that's what made studying art really different. You also get a lot of alone time of studying art. So to just be able to go into your studio alone, work out some of those kind of existential problems, what you're dealing with, and then kind of come into this more public space, more collaborative space with other people was a very different kind of endeavor.
Yeah, and I guess the reason I've asked that because I haven't seen all your work.
Yeah,
but I've seen some of it, and none of it. I didn't see anything political there. Is there a political element to your work?
I don't think so. No, and I think that was a really interesting discovery for me going into art school from this previous life and previous career. And I mean, being like political art is a huge part of like American art history. There are so many like incredible American artists that have made like protest art and art that's about the political climate and environment that they're living in. And that was just something that I kind of thought that I might make that kind of art when I went to art school, and it just didn't connect. And I think that was really interesting. I think part of the reason I didn't like politics and I love art is that there's just this opportunity for intimacy and sort of the messiness of being human that like isn't, and the private life and the private lives and the internal spaces that we all inhabit and that we're all experiencing as we then engage with each other publicly. And I found I was much more interested in that and in myself and in kind of in other people as well.